Tonight, we have a different look at the fentanyl crisis. We know it's an issue with illegal drugs, but what about prescription drugs? Teens and young people who think they're taking one thing, not realizing it could kill them. A family from the western suburbs knows it all too well, and they're on a mission to warn everyone about the deadly consequences of taking that fake pill.
This is probably not going to be the most fun, easy session you have today. This one's going to be a little bit heavy. There is an epidemic happening in our country that's taking the lives of young people, people just like you, people that are your age, that look like you and have all the hopes and dreams in front of them that you all have.
Dean Jeske is on a mission.
How many of you had heard about this issue of fake prescription pills containing fentanyl?
To drive home the dangers of prescription pills,
we're getting the word out there.
Laced with the powerful pain drug fentanyl. Pills young people are buying on the internet every day, and they're deliberately made to look exactly like the real thing. They are not.
I'm not a medical doctor.
On this afternoon in early March,
I'm not a mental health professional.
Dean's speaking to kids from 3 suburban high schools at a retreat in Wisconsin.
I'm not a member of law enforcement.
It's not easy for Dean either. For him, it's personal. Very personal.
My only qualification for being here talking to you today is I'm a dad who lost his youngest son to this epidemic. My youngest son, Peter, was a 22-year-old senior in college at Indiana University. He passed away in April of 2021. He had taken a single pill, thinking it was something else, likely an oxy. It wasn't.
He had so many friends, and he just had such a great way of looking at things. He just was an easy personality.
Peter Jeske was an accomplished athlete, a beloved son and friend. He was on his way to a great future. With a solid job offer after graduation and a move to a new city all set. But Dean and his wife Indra say it all changed in 1 minute on one night.
It was about 9 o'clock on Tuesday evening. Indra was out with some friends for dinner, and there was a knock on the door, which was a bit unusual. I answered the door, and there was an Illinois State Trooper standing in the doorway, which took me aback, and said, "Sir, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but your son has been found dead in his apartment down in Bloomington."
I can't even describe what goes through. It's shock. It's so visceral. Like, your heart is squeezed. The stomach is. I mean, it's just the most horrible feeling ever. Of course, as you can imagine. Then the call to our boys was just so painful.
An autopsy later revealed that Peter had taken a pill, possibly something to help him study for an exam the next day. What he didn't know, it was laced with fentanyl.
I'd never heard of fentanyl. I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand how he could have fentanyl in his system. Peter didn't have a history of substance abuse. He didn't have addiction issues. He made a mistake. He bought or somehow got his hands on a pill from somebody. We actually don't know where he got it. So he made a mistake, but it's not a mistake that should have cost him his life.
Dean wants to make sure other young lives aren't lost to what he calls death by deception.
So if you don't remember anything else, this is what you need to remember.
He says he'll talk to anyone who will listen.
The entire drug market has been tainted by fentanyl. It's everywhere.
About how and why this epidemic is soaring.
The street market has been flooded with fake pills. So think Oxycontin, Vicodin, Percocet, Xanax, even Adderall. There are no pills that you can get on the internet that are legit. They're all fake, they're all made with fentanyl, and they can all kill you.
When used properly, fentanyl is a potent pain management tool, pharmaceutical grade, prescribed by a doctor, and highly regulated. Last year, the Drug Enforcement Agency seized just under 58 million fake fentanyl-laced pills. 60% of them had potentially lethal doses of the drug.
These fake pills that come through, they're just made in somebody's basement, or the cartels are using them somewhere, some shop that they have set up, and they might have been, mixing meth or doing something, and then they just pour this other substance on the table, and there's just no quality control, and they don't care.
If the drug dealers know that fentanyl is killing people, Why would they put it in their drugs? The true answer is they don't give a shit. They are making so much money. That's just the cost in doing business.
There's an element of wanting to addict people. So that's all they care about. If they lose a few here or there, they'll just make it up with other people that, they get hooked.
Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day.
It's a strong message to kids, and for some, it hits home hard.
I can tell. I'm so sorry to hear about it. I hope things work out.
There's also the peer pressure, though. You're at a party and somebody has something. Would you feel comfortable saying, hey, listen, that thing can kill you?
If I've never done it before, I don't want to try it because that scares me. Getting handed this random pill that triggers my brain and is like, you do not take that pill.
Did you understand that before the presentation, do you think?
No, that gave me an eye-opening perspective.
I just love all the things that he used to love to dress up as.
The decision to share Peter's story publicly was difficult for both of his parents.
I was concerned that the people who don't truly know Peter would just view him or his memory as the one who died of fentanyl poisoning. Peter was not an addict. Peter was an amazing young man.
Hey there, everyone. My name is Peter Jeske. I'm a senior studying finance, and I'm from Glen Ellen, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. Something interesting about myself, I actually took some time.
I mean, there's a hole in our family, and that hole's never going to be filled.
And so we're doing it because of Peter. We're doing it because Peter would want us to. And that's really the bottom line.
So the Jeskes are focused, as you saw there, on fake prescription pills, but it is clearly an issue as well with recreational drugs, much of it now laced with deadly levels of fentanyl. Dean's point in his presentations, it's everywhere, and taking any of it is playing a dangerous game of Russian roulette with a bullet in nearly every chamber.